Good morning, afternoon, evening, or wherever you are. I wanted to do a quick video today regarding, I had made a prediction that Trudeau would legalize immigrants to vote, illegals, basically non-citizens to vote. And word has just come out through Canada Poly channel that the registration cards are being sent to non-citizens. Check this out.
So, quote, Elections Canada says, recently people have been sharing inaccurate information about voter registration and ID. We'd like to clear the record. Elections Canada mails voter registration letters to potential electors. These letters say the recipient is not registered to vote. They invite the recipient to register if they're a Canadian citizen and at least 18 years of age. Voter registration letters for potential electors are not the same thing as voter information cards. Voter information cards are cards we send at election time to registered voters only. When a potential elector goes to register themselves, they must sign a statement to the effect that they are a Canadian citizen aged 18 years or older. So they don't have to prove it, they just sign a statement saying they are a Canadian citizen and they're over 18. Okay, back to the tweet stream. The voter information card is not currently accepted as ID. At no time have electors been allowed to vote by showing a voter information card as their only piece of ID. Bill C-76, currently before Parliament, would allow voter information card to be used as proof of address. Elections Canada would not accept the voter information card alone. It would have to be shown with another accepted piece of ID that proves their identity. More about voter ID here and more about Bill C-76 here. Okay, so I'm not going to get into the voter ID or the Bill C-76, but I think it's interesting that people don't have to prove that they're 18 or older. That would be fairly simple with most IDs, like a passport, like a Canadian citizen piece of ID, like a passport or a driver's license, which are accepted as pieces of ID, right? But now they just have to sign a statement saying that they are? That's strange. And why is non-citizens who are being put up in hotels on taxpayer dollars, by the way, getting even voter registration cards? I understand that they're sent to potential voters, but these people, if they're in that system, they should have been pushed through and looked at if they qualify, and if they don't qualify, they should have been ejected from Canada. Like, I don't think our government understands that people don't want these illegals here. If they don't qualify, get them out. It defies reason to pay millions of dollars to people who don't qualify. It defies reason to pay money to put them up in hotels if they don't qualify. And 90% of them don't qualify. So what are we doing? Putting them on roll lists for voting. They shouldn't be doing that. Not at all. Why is our democracy being undermined at such blatantly obvious levels? And why does no one seem to care? That's my question. Why are we allowing illegals and this liberal government to undermine what has been hundreds of years of history, 150 years of history anyway? If we don't demand that our laws are followed, then another group who does demand that their laws are followed will come in and usurp our laws. Look at what's happening in the United Kingdom.
Well, there you have it. There was another, I can't remember if she was Spanish or maybe a Mexican, but she is not a legal citizen, and she was sent a registration card, and she was honest enough to let them know that she had been sent the card and she's not a citizen. This is being done on purpose, okay? He wants to have voters because he knows he's losing his voter base by the day. And the only way he's going to get any votes is if he has non-citizens voting. And personally, I'm offended by that because I'm asked for my identification, my driver's license, and my registration card when I go vote. So if non-citizens don't have to, why do I have to go through all the trouble to bring my identification and stuff there? That's offensive. Really, it's showing favoritism, and I'm fed up with it. Again, this is all divisional tactics. I'm lost, folks. If you have, or if you know somebody who's non-citizen, and if they got their registration cards, expose it. Basically, they're not supposed to be able to vote until they're citizens, okay? And what our politicians are doing is criminal. And actually, Harper was the one who introduced that whole 14 law shit, where you don't have to have identification. You can use a hydro bill or something like that. You know, they've made the list from like 3 or 4 to like 32 different things you can do to vote without ID. That's not good. Okay, we need only Canadian citizens to vote. That's who should be electing who runs our country, not people who aren't even from here. Once they're citizens, fine, then they can vote. But until they are, I don't think they should be allowed to vote, and that pisses me off. Basically, because of the pride that I take in voting, the pride I take in looking at everyone's platforms and stuff. And then these people can just walk in there and vote for him because he let them in the country. You know they're going to vote for him. Unless they're pissed off ones that he left in hotels and didn't give what he promised them. But they won't know who to vote for. Truthfully, they have no clue. Okay. So basically, no, this really pisses me off, and I want to know what you think. If you can leave your comments below. I'm upset by this, and I don't know. I think a lot of you should be too. Any Canadian citizens, anyone who's fought in a war for our freedoms and our security, should be pissed. Any legal immigrants should be pissed because they had to wait to vote. So why don't these new people, right? It's because Trudeau's in and he's following an Islamist agenda. And he's favoring the Islam, hence the M103 motion, which is law, and we are not allowed to argue with anything he does or anything they do. And I'm fed up with that, and our police are backing that, and I'm really pissed at that too, because we pay the police to protect us. We don't pay the police to protect illegal and immoral citizens or non-citizens who want to push an agenda in our country, okay, which is oppressive to women and children, and it's oppressive to everybody. It's a controlled society. Look at some videos from Iran and Iraq and all these other places in the Middle East. Can't go anywhere without like the Taliban or whoever, with guns at each checkpoint. They want to see what your papers are and all. That's not the kind of place I want to live in. But they're setting Canada up to be that way. I don't know if you travel the 1A much, which is the Trans-Canada Highway, but all through Ontario they've got, usually where you go down a hill, they'll have a one-lane bridge and a little booth on each side, and people think that's going to be just like a pay-quarter toll booth. No, that's going to be exactly what they have in the Middle East. Well, I want to see your license, I want to see your papers, where are you going, what are you doing? Fuck you, you know, I'm going somewhere and I'll know when I get there. I noticed this when I went in 2010, when I was coming back from BC, and I noticed they were installing them, and then when I went back to BC in 2014, they had pretty much finished quite a few of them, and it seems every 5 or 10 kilometers there's one of these single lane bridges with a booth at each side. And people are calling me a conspiracy theorist for even talking about it, like, no, they're little toll booths, you're a freak. No, they're not, okay? These are totalitarian stops for checking our paperwork and stuff, and monitoring who got on the highway and when they got on the highway, by what checkpoints they've gone through. You know, basically, I know there's good reasons they could use stuff like that, but they're not. They're using everything for bad reasons, and that's why I'm upset about it, and that's why I talk about it. But anyway, I wanted to say goodbye to everybody. It's getting too cold to do videos out here. But basically, I'm going to be doing my videos from inside from now on, unless it's nice out, because my batteries keep dying every 2 minutes. It's just annoying. Now, this camera is a battery-sucking pig, so I may have to start buying more batteries. But in the long run, we have to control what they're doing. We have to make note that we're noticing what they're doing. And the best way to do that is speak out. So leave your comments below. I want to give a shout out to all my subscribers, all my new subscribers. Thank you very much. And all my viewers. People have been viewing my videos. Like, thank you. I just, the amount of views I'm getting on some of my videos is just phenomenal, and I'm so happy about that. So let's make my channel better again. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.